Hey, I'm Derrick Fox, and you're watching A Bunch of Losers. Bree is my guest today from Season 10 of MasterChef and Season 12 Back to Win. We discuss her friendship with Fred, her plating style, living in Dallas, the multiple times she auditioned for MasterChef, Austin, Texas, and so much more. Let's go, loser.
Bree!
Derrick, hey, what's up?
I'm in Dallas.
Yes, welcome. I know it's kind of like, half of your town, right?
Yeah, it's cool. I'm getting used to it. I'm liking it. Like Dallas is like architecture downtown, so cool.
It is really cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always voted one of the best skylines, actually.
Yeah, the skyline is beautiful, and the Science Museum building.
Yes, the Perot Museum.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
So
Have you
cool.
actually been in?
No, I haven't. I haven't gotten to do.
It's cool from the outside. Yeah, it's kind of cooler from the outside. It's more unique. Inside, it's a science museum.
Yeah. Well, so MasterChef Back to Win. What were we thinking?
From what point? Like from getting the email, from being there? There were so many thoughts.
So many thoughts. Okay, let's jump back because you didn't have much time in between. It was like season 10, a year off, season 12.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like all you season 10 people had a little bit of advantage because you weren't as rusty as someone like me or even Felix was season 3, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was a good amount of time because it was enough time to have achieved some growth.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was still fresh on our minds.
Yep.
But it was the same thing in terms of just a total whirlwind that you just have to take one day at a time.
Yeah. So what were you doing before season 10? I mean, like you're in Dallas, you're like the most picturesque person of Dallas. Like if I could describe like a Dallas girl, like you were it.
That's so funny. And now that you
it.
say it, I guess that makes sense. But I was born and raised in Dallas.
Yeah.
So yeah, makes sense. I'll take it.
Good.
I graduated from UT in Austin, and I always knew that right when I graduated, I was going to move straight back to Dallas.
Really? You didn't even want to stay in Austin?
No. And I mean, in hindsight, I feel like I should have let myself enjoy Austin more because it's such a cool city.
I want to move there.
I mean, and sorry, Dallas, but Austin's food scene schools Dallas's food scene.
It schools a lot of places.
Yeah. But
although I've had some pretty spectacular sushi here in Dallas.
Yes, the
which is
sushi
blowing
game.
my mind.
Yeah. What are your favorite sushi
I mean, coming
spots?
from LA, I'm like, why? Like how Oishi? Like
that's a staple.
Yeah, I've met Chef Tan. He always takes care of me when I go in there. He just gives me omakase every time.
That's awesome.
Oishi's dope.
Yeah.
I think that's top of my list. We just went to Tatsu the other night, which is like really traditional, super traditional Japanese style. It was good. It just felt really, really traditional,
That's cool though, to
special
change it up.
experience.
That's unique because sometimes Dallas, it's more about like being seen and stuff. So I always appreciate the restaurants that are really authentic and just about the food. But going back to your question, what I was doing before season 10 was working at a bar, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
a
super popular nightclub.
Which one?
Theory. It's on McKinney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got connected because I knew the owners really well. They're super nice guys. And post-grad, I just wasn't sure what I wanted to do, as a lot of us do.
Of course.
And I was like, well, I'll work there at night. So during the day, I can interview and do stuff.
What did you go to school for?
Spanish.
No way.
Yeah, so hablo español.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's my secret weapon.
Wow.
I'm like, I dare you to talk about me in Spanish.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I was doing that. And I had actually auditioned for MasterChef while I was in college. And we can get to that in a minute.
Wow.
But I always knew I wanted to come back and audition.
So you've been a fan of the show forever? You watched all the seasons?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
It's not that I was a fan of the show as much as I was a fan of cooking.
Mhm.
And I thought, when I heard about the show, I thought it would be very fitting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're working at okay. I guess we got to go back. We got to go back to your first audition.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot to take in.
So you were halfway through school. Which season first one did you try out for?
So I was a sophomore in college,
Yep.
and this was the year, I'm going to age myself now, but 2013. So was that your season?
No.
That would have been season
before.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5.
Thank goodness. You'd have had to deal with Christian twice.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Y'all's beef cracks me up.
I would have passed on that.
Yeah, it was so funny. And I guess I'll tell you about my experience auditioning.
Yeah, tell me. Did you audition in Austin?
In Austin.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. So they come to 8 cities in the US typically.
Mm-hmm.
Typically one in Texas. So this particular year it was Austin. And I saw an ad for the tryouts and I was like, okay, like I'm a home cook and I love cooking. And I really hadn't watched MasterChef much, bits and pieces. But I was like, I'm just going to try it. So, the instructions are like, bring a dish to this hotel or whatever. So
What did you bring?
I brought a lobster mango stack sort of thing.
Okay.
Not obviously we've come a long way since then.
I know. Looking back, like I look at my dish sometimes. Like, what was I making?
know, and it's like I thought that was good. It wasn't bad, but anyways, it was a train wreck to kind of like not the dish, but my audition. So it says bring a dish, right? And then it says something about like we'll give you 3 minutes to plate.
Mm-hmm.
So
which feels like 30 fucking seconds.
well, for me, it felt like an hour, and I'll tell you why.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So before the audition day, I get a call from a producer, and they're like, "Hey, we've like flagged your application. You're a VIP. The producers are looking at you, and you're going to go right to the front of the line when you come in."
I got the same.
You did?
Yeah.
So when I got in, I didn't even have time to think or really look around. I went straight into the room, and I had my lobster dish in this Tupperware thing. They're like, "Okay, ready, go." Everybody starts busting out these plates and like utensils. I did not know we had to bring plates and stuff. All I had was the Tupperware thing. So I was like beet red and I just took off the lid,
and used the
put
lid?
it underneath,
Oh
and
my God.
stood there.
Oh my God.
So longest 3 minutes of my life.
No
Yeah,
way.
it was so embarrassing. And then to make matters worse, the guy from the culinary team starts coming around, giving everybody feedback, and he's being mean. And he's like, to the person next to me, he's like, "Why would you do this?" and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, breathe, just don't cry. It's going to be okay. So he gets to me and just looks at it and looks at me. And then there was like, I guess, a bit of sauce. And with his finger, he wipes it and he's like, "What, 3 minutes wasn't enough time to get that?" And I was like,
oh, shit.
I didn't have any napkins or anything. And I was like, "Okay, just talk your way through this, Brie." So I was like, look, I didn't know that we had to bring plates, but I can tell you how I would have plated it. I would have set this on a flat plate, used a ring mold, and put the greens on top. And he's like, "Okay." And I ended up making it through that round by the skin of my teeth, but it was mortifying. Yeah. And then I got cut at the next round.
Do you remember what happened in the next round?
That was when you have to talk to the producers for 2 minutes. And 19-year-old me just wasn't very sure of herself. So I think they kind of read that. But I always knew that in the back of my mind, I would come back and audition. And when I tell you, I got the best brand new plate. I got my tongs.
Okay, so
I was so ready for the next one when they finally came to Dallas for season 10 auditions.
So season 10, you're going
5 years later.
back in there with a vengeance. Okay,
Yes.
so what did you make this time around?
So I made a sea bass with a purple cauliflower puree. I synthesized some caviar. I can't remember what flavor. Can't remember really what else, but it was sea bass with cauliflower puree and caviar that I made with a beautiful plate.
Amazing.
And microgreens, of course.
That's so funny. My season 6 audition was scallops with purple cauliflower puree.
Oh, funny.
And then I did roasted Brussels sprouts, and then I did a white balsamic gastrique. But I had a similar stressful audition because it was the same. Like, I emailed them. I was like, I want to be on this show. I've seen every episode. And I was like, I could go win this thing.
You emailed them and said all this?
Well, I didn't tell them that. No, what I emailed them was just a bio of myself and a picture of me playing drums and then the picture of this scallop dish.
Oh, like in addition to the online application?
Yeah, I didn't know where the online application was yet. I just found an email. So I emailed them. And then they called me 20 minutes later. Like I hit send.
Whoa.
And then they called really fast. And then they sent me the online application. I filled all that out. And Ned was like, "What happens if you don't win?" I was like, "Ned, you're talking to the winner."
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I had to be confident because I was like, if you go into something like this and you're not confident, like it will eat you up.
Oh, I know. And I'm thankful that I didn't make it the first time around.
Right.
Because 5 years later, I was solid. I knew who I was as a person. Yeah. I was solid in my cooking and my skills. Right. So you really have to be just solid when you go in.
Yeah. So I'm like, he's like, okay, well, we're setting you up with a VIP audition. You're going to skip the line. Just come straight to the front. I was like, oh, sweet. Wow. He goes, make a dish. He goes, don't worry about the temperature.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to have 3 minutes to plate in front of our culinary team. I was like, okay, cool. But I was still like, this is where like I had ego like totally getting in the way. I was like, no,
really?
I have to serve a hot dish. Like it's got like, I was like, I can't serve cold. I was just so confused about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what can I do? I was trying to be like MacGyver. So I found these like thermos containers that would hold heat for like 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
So I made the scallops and I put them in there and I closed it and I made the cauliflower puree and put it in there and closed it. And I got up like super early in the morning and made this dish so it would stay hot. They're like, time to plate. I open it. My scallops had just shriveled up because they just kept
continued
cooking.
to cook.
Yeah,
I was wondering about that.
I didn't know then.
No.
I know now. I would never do that,
yeah.
right? Oh, it was so embarrassing. And I still plated it. And I was like, look, I was like, because the guy was being a little tough. He comes over. I was like, look, I know this looks like shit right now. I was like, but I pulled out my phone. I was like, this is how they looked before I put them in this stupid container.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
they were like, all right, cool. And then they checked off all the boxes. And I was like, whew.
That's awesome. Sometimes you just have to speak up for yourself.
Yeah.
And it pays.
Yeah, exactly. You can't, like, that's, I think what these shows will really do for you. It's like, if you go in quiet, like if you would have went in the first time, you would have made it however far you made it, and then you would have come out a stronger person. You would have been like, okay, if I go back and do this again, this is who I would be, right? You'd have a better sense of yourself. I feel like some of us really like took that to heart for season 12, right? It was like, I think for me, it actually messed with me because season 6, I was so naive. I was like, no one in here. I was like, I'm good. I'm going all the way to the finale every day. I woke up. I would write it in my journal. I'm going to the finale. I'm going to the finale.
Wow.
And then because we also got to season 6, we got to do a snake after we cooked. We'd all go to the back of the MasterChef kitchen and we'd snake through, and we'd all get to look really close to each other's dishes.
Oh, wow.
We didn't get to do that for season 12.
Yeah.
So season 6, I was like able to really get a close look at what everyone was doing, and I was like, I'm fine. Like,
yeah.
I wasn't stressed at all.
Yeah.
This, I have no idea what anyone's doing, and like they cut our time so short. Like,
yeah, and with 3 plates for each challenge too. That really cut some of the time short.
We really only got like 35 minutes to cook each dish. And we were doing 45 minutes all season, but they were making it look like we were doing an hour up until whatever episode. Like,
yeah, you're right. It was 45 minutes. Yeah, because I remember really having to plan every dish around that.
Stressful.
Yeah.
Stressful. So I don't know. This time I also like I didn't follow rules, like cooking rules with before, like season 6. I didn't know anything. Now it's like almost 7 years of just cooking every day and learning and learning and growing, that when I went in this time, I was a little like, how do I do this correct? It was like,
yeah, you don't want to do it the wrong way and be judged for that.
Right. Because before I could just blame not knowing.
Yeah.
Like, well, I made this hollandaise sauce, but I didn't know this or that.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I can't even do a proper hollandaise sauce in this amount of time. So should I even attempt it? It was like,
right. You
that's all
only
was in
want
my
to do
head.
it the right way. And
Right.
I feel like we're similar in the sense that we're both kind of perfectionists.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I know that's how I am. So I won't do something unless I know I can do it perfectly.
Right. And I think that was like why the lobster and croûte episode was so dramatic, because
Oh, yeah.
I knew I could do it,
Yeah.
but it got down to the second.
Yeah.
I mean, I folded that thing up and when I put it in the oven, I knew I needed 18 minutes, because I've done in croûtes a lot, and I've done the Wellington a lot for my clients. So I knew this was something I could do, but I was like 18, like it was 18 and a half minutes when I was putting it in the oven.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
jeez.
So then I started making my hollandaise sauce and
Yeah.
sauteing the vegetables, and then I just plated the dish
and
then
got it all ready.
and got it ready. And it
Yeah.
was literally just like pulled it out of the oven and set it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was stressful.
Well, kudos to you though.
It paid off.
Yeah. It really is the time, and the 3 dishes. Like one dish, fine, but 3, and they have to look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they didn't really hold everyone to that standard.
I know.
Isn't that annoying?
Yes, because I am a very visual person, very aesthetically focused person. So I made sure every swipe was
Right.
perfect. I was
Right.
like, okay, 12
Yep.
to 5 o'clock or whatever. And yeah, I mean,
No, and
some
you and I
people
can
really
notice
didn't.
it from afar. If someone
Right.
else's plate is like off or whatever, like
Right.
because we
We know.
we know.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was to change my Instagram handle to anything, it would be Plating King.
Love it. Love it. You deserve it. You deserve it.
But I don't know. For me, it's just I like the art of it, right?
Yeah, me too. I've always been such an artistic person. I actually went to the performing arts school here in Dallas for high school, Booker T.
And so, tell me about that. Like, what stuff were you doing artistically outside of cooking?
Yeah, so I mean, I've always been into art in many different aspects of
Okay.
it. So in school, I was in advanced art, and that was actual like painting, drawing, etc. But for Booker T, I actually went there for classical piano.
No way.
Fun fact, I grew up classically trained since the age of 4.
You're insanely talented.
Thank
Are you more than bilingual?
No,
Okay.
I wish.
Bilingual. You can play one of the hardest instruments to play. You probably play it really well. You're like, yeah. Look, trying to get Brie to be to boast about herself. Painting. I need to see some of these paintings.
Yeah. I have some of my own artwork up in my place because it's like, I really want the specific thing right there. Okay, I'll just make it myself.
Amazing.
But yeah, Booker T was so cool. You either go there for music, art, dance, or acting.
Okay.
And so everybody there is really talented, and it's such an inspiring place to be.
Wow.
And like all the artists paint all the trash cans even, and all the picnic tables outside. And then during lunch, the music ensembles will perform.
Yeah.
And it's just like so cool. And I actually had to really convince my parents to let me audition because I was at a really good school before that, Highland Park.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, you're crazy if you think that you're going to leave Highland Park to go to a school in downtown Dallas. And I was
For
like,
art.
you don't understand. And then I convinced
You
them.
convinced them.
Yeah.
How big is your family?
It is, well, it's kind of split. So growing up, it was 4 of us, my mom, stepdad, sister, and me.
Okay.
But I also have a dad, a stepmom, and 2 brothers.
Interesting. How
Yeah.
old were you when your parents split?
I was a baby, and then my mom remarried, and then they split when I was in high school. So it's complicated, of course, but I'm so thankful though that everybody gets along, and they actually all came to my MasterChef audition, and it kind of like brought them all together,
Aw.
which was really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
And so your mom divorced your stepdad and then also divorced your biological father and then also split from your stepdad.
Correct. So
Do you still have a relationship with your stepdad?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
really close. We're actually getting together tomorrow night for cooking and family game night.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you have like just a spread out kind of big family.
Holidays are crazy.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Do you like cook for all of them and stuff, or do you like get the holidays off?
I typically get the holidays off. I sometimes have to like beg, like, let me cook.
Really?
Yeah, because there's a lot of cooks in the family. And that's
Mm.
not really how I learned, which is kind of like funny. But
How did you learn?
on my own.
Yeah.
So I worked in a French restaurant.
We have such a similar path.
Really?
Keep going.
Okay, I can't wait to
Just
hear
blown
yours.
away. 'Cause
Okay, interesting. So when I was 14, I just loved this restaurant. We liked to go out to eat. And I was like, I want to work here for fun.
no way.
Yeah. So I became a hostess there, youngest person they had ever hired. And I would always work there on Sunday evenings. And the chef was super cool and nice. It was like a big family. And I just got to know him and asked, like, hey, how do you make this dish? Because I'd love to recreate that. And he was like, oh, sweet. You want to learn? Yes. Like, here's the spices you need. Do this. So I would go home and try it on my own, come back and be like, hey, it didn't turn out quite right. What did I do wrong? And that's kind of how it started.
Wow.
And then in college, when I had my own kitchen, I really like dove in, researched on YouTube,
Yeah.
cookbooks, Pinterest,
Mhm.
all of that, and just really like cooked a lot for, people in my apartment building and stuff.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
This I worked at this restaurant. It wasn't like I wasn't seeking it out because I wanted to work there for fun. I was more in a tight spot. But the restaurant was a very nice high-end restaurant.
Mhm.
And the chef, I really liked his cooking. So I would
Yeah.
like hurry up waiting my tables and go back to the kitchen. I'd stand next to him at the pass and watch what he was doing. And one
Mhm.
day he was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just watching. He's like, what about your tables? I was like, they're good. He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I really like what you're doing and I want to watch. And then after a couple nights, I was like, chef, can I like buy some of the seafood to try and recreate this at home? And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I
How
want to do this at
funny.
home.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you have any advice? And, he would tell me what to do and I'd go home and I'd recreate
Yeah,
it.
that's awesome. I
So
mean, there's
funny.
nothing like seeing it in person and then like learning from,
Yeah.
really good chefs.
Right. I mean, that's the only way for growth is working with other people. And it
Yeah.
doesn't even matter like how skilled they are. I mean, or what position they are. Like, I mean, I've learned in kitchens, I've learned stuff from prep cooks, all the way up to other executive chefs. I mean, just some like cool little techniques here and there. And you just like
Right. You just pick it up.
pick it up and carry it with you.
Yeah. And that actually makes sense, not to toot our own horns, but to toot our own horns. I feel like you and I have very restaurant quality style dishes.
Yeah.
And
Probably because we
so it
both like to
makes
eat out a
sense.
lot.
Well, that for sure, but also learning from chefs in restaurants makes sense.
But we pay attention. I mean, I think
Yeah.
we both enjoy the art of it. So we
Yes.
see that first, and we can identify there, and then we like pick it apart and understand how the recipe works, and then build on top of that.
Yeah, and the details.
Yeah. So okay, so let's talk about when you got the call for season 12. How did that go down?
So I was kind of forewarned by a little bird named Fred.
So they called Fred first.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was like, I'll do it if you do it.
He probably immediately hung up and dialed you.
Yeah. So funny. I mean, come on. We're basically a package deal at this
I'm
point.
surprised one of you hasn't moved to the other's city.
We were going to be roommates. So after season 10, we toured apartment buildings and everything, but that was end of 2019. So then 2020, COVID happened.
Wow.
So then it was just kind of, it all fell apart from there. And it was like, okay, well, I can't move to LA,
You were going to
kind of.
move to LA?
I was literally ready to move to LA.
You were going to leave Dallas.
Yeah,
Like Little Miss Dallas was going to leave
Yeah.
Dallas
I sure was.
for LA.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't do that. You would have regretted that.
Really?
I think so. The 2 years of COVID has been a nightmare.
I bet.
Watching these amazing restaurants close because they can't serve, they can't stay open.
I know.
One of my favorite restaurants, it's a restaurant inside of a restaurant, so there's no patio. there was no way they could do anything. They just had to close.
That's so
I mean, and it was a 2
sad.
Michelin star restaurant.
Wow.
Like, it wasn't even about the money. It was like because of the restrictions, they couldn't serve.
That is so sad.
And like, but then there's like streets. There's just like street after street after street. It's just like closed businesses, and things just haven't
Wow.
reopened.
Yeah.
And there are things coming in and reopening in those spots. And I think if it's like, well, okay, like the silver lining is a new business has a new opportunity that they didn't have before,
Mhm.
but it was also at the expense of crushing someone else's
Yeah.
livelihood.
Yeah.
So I mean, LA just did a terrible job handling it all. I mean, I don't think that it, I think it's more just like there was just too many people in charge, too many people live in LA anyway. Like it was
Yeah.
just a cluster of just bad decision after bad decision,
Yeah.
and we suffered. I mean, I was lucky that like the job that I have, like basically, I mean, it didn't fall under. I don't think it falls under essential, but the grocery stores were open, so
Mhm.
I could keep working, and I actually got busier because everything shut down, and clients are calling like, we need a chef,
Yeah.
and so, and then when I landed the client I have now, they're like, well, we live in Dallas too. I was like, cool. So then I come here to Texas, and it was like COVID doesn't exist, and then I go back to LA, and it was like double mask and
Yeah.
and vaccine card, and it was like, this is wild. It's two different worlds.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely.
but then you did I see recently you bought a house?
No, not really. So I lived in a house. I have since moved out.
Oh,
And now I'm in an apartment, which I love.
okay.
But yeah, that's enough said about that.
You don't want to talk about that?
No, I
Okay.
think you can gather.
Got it. Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, everything happens for a reason, truly.
Okay.
And it was also kind of far away, really far. It was like an hour outside of the city.
Oh, wow.
So I couldn't really do much in terms of like culinary stuff except for social media.
Right, like cooking at home.
Yeah,
Which is like, why do we do all this social media stuff anyway?
I know. Well, I think COVID kind of like led to that growing
Yeah.
vastly.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like, I think I'm just getting at like the cooking videos, like, and I'm making them now, and I'm actually getting a good response. I mean, I kind of wish I'd have been doing it all along, because who knows
Yeah.
where I'd be at now. But
I know.
but
It's
also
easy
like,
to think like that.
but also at the same time, I'm like, guys, like, nothing I'm creating is new. You know,
Right.
like, I mean, there's a couple things, like, each of us probably have a couple things that we are doing that no one else has done.
Mhm.
But other than that, it's all been done before.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, and I see some of these guys, like Nick from your
Yeah,
season.
I know.
Like, holy shit. He just had Tom Brady on.
I saw that. I know.
I mean,
He's
so what? Like,
killing
so why
it.
should I even do it? He's done it all.
I
Like,
know.
You know what I mean?
I know. It's easy to think that. But, everybody starts from some point and
Yeah.
you never know. And you just can't think like that.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
So I came up with a new way of how I'm going to present my cooking videos. I did one as an experiment. It's unfortunate. Excuse me. I'm here in Dallas for a couple months, so I can't shoot any more of these until I get back to
Oh, why not?
my kitchen's not a kitchen I can really
Film in.
film in.
That was like my requirement when I was looking for an apartment. I was like, where
Yeah.
can I film this one?
I'm moving into a new place up in Addison. It's amazing, and I actually will have a kitchen I can film in there. But the
Oh, nice.
place I'm in right now, like the kitchen is just like one of the flat walls, and then it's like big living room.
Gotcha.
So there's no island. There's no
okay.
place to like put a camera to like watch what I'm doing. It doesn't work. So
Mhm.
anyway, I got to tough it out for a couple more weeks, and then I can start doing content at the new place. But so I'm doing skits in front of the cooking. So I don't know. Did you see that one where I did the lobster roll? And I did
No.
a skit where I was talking to myself.
No, but I love those kind of videos, like on TikTok. Those
Yeah.
crack me up. So that's a
Right.
good idea.
So I've seen rappers do it. I've seen some other like musicians, and then like a bunch of like Sometimes dancers will do it, but I haven't seen anyone in the food space do it. So
Yeah, me neither.
I did one the other day, and like I don't have a lot of followers on TikTok. Like I'm new to TikTok. I had like 400 followers on TikTok. I have 40,000 on Instagram. But I go and I come up with this idea, and I'm like, I pretend to be my sous chef talking to the executive chef, which is also me.
Mm-hmm.
And have you watched The Bear yet?
Not yet.
Oh,
Should I?
Should you? Yes. You're going to love it.
Okay.
You're going to be knocking on the door at that French restaurant going,
really?
Let me back in. Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of did it like I talked to myself as if I was on The Bear.
Mm-hmm.
And did this whole skit, and then I was like, all right, and then I went into it and did the cooking video, and then I got done, and then I gave myself the sandwich and I ate it. And so it was a whole skit with the cooking video. It crushed. I have 400 followers on TikTok. I uploaded it. The thing got 60,000 views, and I went up 1,500 followers off just the one video.
I'll have to check it out then.
Wow. So
and you never know. Like,
right.
I feel like sometimes the ones that you think are going to go viral don't. And then whenever you just throw something up because you like it, that's the one that goes viral.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me.
On like which one?
So the monster caviar video, it got over 4 million views.
What?
Yeah.
Is this on your Instagram or TikTok?
TikTok. Well, both. But TikTok is where it has over 4 million.
And how much did it do on Instagram?
I don't know. Probably like 60,000.
Isn't that wild how different it can be?
Yeah, I think it's because TikTok shows your videos to people who don't necessarily follow you.
Well, yeah.
Which is cool. That's how you like figure out more content. But anyways, so
Instagram's just really tight with their algorithm. So what is this monster caviar?
So you know how I love to do like the synthesized caviar.
Sure.
So I already had a video that was filmed for YouTube. So super lazily of me, when I started TikTok, I just took that video and cropped it and just put it on TikTok just to like have it on there. It got like over 2 million views, and people were like so intrigued by it. They're like, isn't caviar fish eggs and blah, blah, blah. And then what cracked me up was people were like throwing out ideas, because in the video I had said you can synthesize it out of any liquid. And they were like, what about this? What about that? And someone was like, what about Monster Energy? And I was like, I had a Monster in the fridge.
That's brilliant for TikTok.
Yeah, but I just did it for fun. I was like, well, here's a Monster. Yeah, let me do it. So I did it, and then it got over 4 million. And Monster sent me like basically a lifetime supply of cases.
Jesus.
And me and their Instagram account like DM regularly. They're like, how's this flavor? I'm like, yeah, I love it.
No way.
Yeah,
that's
so
amazing.
funny.
I'm
Yeah.
so far behind. I feel ancient when it comes to this shit.
No, well, that's just it though. You just have to have fun with it and then see where it goes from there.
Well, I was listening to an interview with Mr. Beast. You know Mr. Beast, right?
Yeah.
And he just talks about like consistency, obviously, and then well produced.
Right.
And like that was the thing about the skit video, is I put a lot of work into it. I mean,
yeah, it takes time.
So much time.
That's why it's a full-time job for people.
Yeah. And I'm trying to juggle it with my full-time private chef job, my cookie company, this podcast, and then I'm squeezing in cooking video. I'm burning the candle. But I mean, it's a 90-second video, because that's the other thing. I wish Reels on Instagram would be a little bit longer.
Yeah,
because TikTok you can do 3 minutes.
Like guidelines.
Yeah. So 90 seconds, and I put like 8 hours into this video.
Wow.
Like
that's where the consistency part gets hard.
Very tricky.
Because it's like you can't do that every day.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I could if I had a budget.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I'm wondering, like with Nick, like how much money was put behind him, or like what's his situation, right? Because he's obviously recording like 8-10 hours a day, and he can do that.
I don't know about that.
Well, at least at a certain point he was filming a lot.
Yeah.
Like
I think he has a team.
But he has a team.
He has to.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you can see it in the production.
Right.
But I wonder, I mean, if I had if I had just a bankroll behind me, I could edit all my videos. I could film all my videos. I could stay at home and just do that all day long.
Right. And do it well.
Right. And I don't know if he has it or not. I would love to have him on and talk to him about it.
Yeah. He's a cool dude, and he's a smart guy. I mean, he went to Harvard, graduated from Harvard. So I think his intelligence shows in his page, because it's very like consistent in the way that it all looks
Yeah.
this cohesive. It's
Yeah.
all done the same way, done well.
Mhm.
He's kind of a perfectionist too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that really makes a difference.
And seems super cool and nice.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super cool and nice. He was really good friends with like Fred and I. We would all chill in the holding room and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm really happy for him.
Yeah. Did he ever talk to you about like? Did you guys like talk about like plan after MasterChef? Like did he already have this all planned out or?
If he did, he didn't share it. Like after
Probably.
we all got back, he actually called me one day and I was kind of like, what's up? But he was just calling to chat and just be like, yeah, just wanted to see how you're doing. Like, what's up? And I
Yeah.
think he kind of called everyone he was close to. And all of us were kind of just like taking it all in. And I actually remember in holding, we were talking about social media.
Mhm.
And I said, like, yeah, we're all probably going to take off and gain like a bunch of followers. And Nick was like, really? You really think so?
You guys were
And look at him now.
you guys were the epitome of the perfect timing of being on TV and social media. Because
Yeah.
like for my season, it was just kind of like Twitter was the big thing for
Right.
season 5. Remember they all had their Twitter handles on the
Yeah.
screen? And then Instagram was a thing, but no one really. And then as it was airing, Instagram was kind of becoming a thing, but it was just photos. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't video, it was just photos. And I remember like I started going up like 1,000 followers a day one time,
Wow.
like towards the end of MasterChef season 6 airing. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. But like didn't know what to do with it because there's no one that
Right.
tells you. There's no manual that says go do this, you know?
Right.
So it was all wasted. And
Yeah.
so when I got the call for this time around, I was like, I am getting my shit together.
Yeah, you do have to be ready, honestly,
Yeah.
because it's such a whirlwind.
Yeah. So what do you have going on now that you finished season 12?
Yeah, well, definitely social media is huge for me.
Yeah.
I love working with brands that I really care about. I'm really picky with who I work with because I only want to showcase like brands I truly love.
So you truly love Monster.
I do. Well, I also really love Celsius. It's
Yep.
probably my favorite energy drink. But
Uh-oh.
I love Monster as well as a scene kid back in the day.
A scene?
Always
You were a
loved
scene
Monster.
kid? What do you
A
mean
little
scene
bit.
kid?
Like I would tease my hair really big. I had like a blue streak
Did
here
you
in
listen
the
to
front.
Forever the Sickest Kids?
For sure.
No way!
For sure. All of the above, all time low, like all
Oh
of
my
those.
gosh.
Yeah.
We would have been like best buds in
I
high
could
school.
see that actually. Yeah.
Going to
That's
concerts.
so funny. Yeah. So that's where my Monster will always have a place in my heart.
I would have never pegged you for like that kind of music.
I know, but I feel like once I mention it, you can like kind of see
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
Because I feel like there was kind of that side of scene where people were kind of like more girly and stuff at the same time. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I was in the scene in Florida, so it was pretty sketchy.
Well, like some of the scene girls would wear like bows and stuff,
Really?
and like makeup. Like I would wear so much eyeliner.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
I mean, those are the eyeliner days. I would wear like 2 studded belts.
Oh my god.
I would wear 2 belts. I would have Famous Stars and Straps.
like, Hot
buckles.
Topic.
Oh gosh. Like, well, more so I was getting, I mean, I would get stuff from Hot Topic, but it was like anything that was Famous Stars and Straps. It was just like the Cadillac belt buckle and
Yeah.
then a blinged out like Famous belt buckle. And I just wear 2 belts,
That's so
and-
funny.
skateboard shoes.
Yeah, like DC.
Yep. DC all day long.
Yeah.
I would dye my hair black and just like spike it up like
No
super high.
way.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. I
that's
would wear
so funny.
eyeliner too.
Oh my wow. That's pretty involved.
Now I just subtly just like paint my nails. So it's
Yeah.
like, tattoos is what I'm trying to do now.
That's what our generation has evolved to.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
scene and emo kids
Oh
have
my
evolved to
goodness.
this. But anyways, social media definitely is being a focus. Definitely content creation. I love, of course, with like the artistic side of cooking, which I love. It goes hand in hand. So I've got a DSLR camera that I use, like a bunch of lighting, and I really love the photography and videography aspects of
Yeah.
it.
Do you feel that that's important, having the DSLR for shooting cooking videos?
I kind of do. Well,
Yeah?
I would say lighting is more important.
Yeah.
So I would say lighting plus a phone is fine, lighting plus a camera is probably better.
Yeah. And then do you have, and then you just external hard drive and then work off that, or do you have enough room on the computer, or what are you using?
I actually use my phone because I feel like it's easier just to edit in TikTok. So
Really?
Yeah. Plus,
Interesting.
inside scoop. No, not really inside scoop. But I've heard that if you edit in TikTok, the algorithm likes it better.
Probably.
I didn't know that, but it makes sense.
I got to figure that out.
But
Because I use Splice. I edit in Splice. Have you used that?
No, but I've heard of it.
So it's so easy. Like
They
that's
make it so easy these days. I love that.
But like it's easier than editing in TikTok or
really?
Instagram. I don't like editing in Instagram
I hate
at all.
editing in Instagram. It's such an afterthought.
Yeah. Which is so funny that all these companies are trying to do the same thing, but they're all trying to do it a different way. And it's
I know.
Guys, just merge all together one place.
I
Can
know.
we just have one place?
Seriously.
Because Reese from Next Level Chef. Sorry, Royce from Next Level Chef. He just does his iPhone and lighting, and he has. I think he's got like 600,000 followers
on TikTok. Is he
on
like
Instagram.
flaky something?
Yeah.
Okay,
No flaky salt.
Yeah, flaky salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it can be done, especially lighting is just the most important thing because I think if you think about it, people just need to really be able to see
right.
what you're doing.
And that's what I hate about the kitchen I have in LA. My place in LA is like the kitchen is so dull, and I'm doing no matter how much light I put in there, it just the kitchen just sucks it up.
Yeah,
because it's like brown cabinets and it's a dark countertop, and I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah,
and like
you could do really close up shots.
Yeah, and I have, and I mean it's working. I'm figuring out my thing, but I'm excited about this new apartment because it's gonna have a lot of light and a kitchen that I can film in. Although it's electric. That's the only part I don't like about Dallas.
Mine is too. I know.
It's
I
just
hate
Dallas.
it.
It's all the apartments are electric.
I know. I'm like, this is embarrassing.
Like
and
I like
such a shame.
I like electric everything else. Electric.
Yeah.
I have an electric car, electric bike. I have an electric coffee cup, but I need the gas at the stove.
Yeah,
right?
I feel you. I know.
I feel bad for people that have not cooked on gas and have no idea.
It's so different.
Yeah. And then I've even gotten into like with gas stoves, like learning the difference in just like the BTU put out. Like Thor Kitchen that I am working with as an ambassador, the output of flame, like it's great. Like I can get a pan so hot so fast.
That's awesome. I love using that for like open flame too, like roasting a pepper or something on there. That's awesome.
Yeah, I did some artichokes that way the other day.
I love artichokes. Random, but I really do. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, that one's new since MasterChef. My client,
that's awesome.
I make her artichokes like once a week.
That's so funny.
So it's her like favorite thing to eat. So I got that, and then I went and visited Michael.
Yeah, in Austin.
Yeah, and so I got that and this one for Austin.
Oh yes, hook 'em. That's awesome. It's so funny. An artichoke is what led me to the French restaurant that I worked at because it's always been one of my favorite foods. And so before I actually went to eat there in person, my parents had gone there for like a date night. And they were like, hey, they had an artichoke on the menu, so we brought it to go for you. And I was like, this is the best artichoke I've ever had. I need to eat at this restaurant. And I did.
And was it just grilled?
No, actually, it was steamed or boiled, but they served it with this French sauce. And it was like really creamy with like chopped egg white. And it was really good.
Yeah, I steam them and then I finish them on the grill.
I like that. That adds more flavor. Yeah. It's just kind of a different taste.
It's a little char too.
Depending on that's good.
I'm all about the sauce. My client doesn't.
Me too.
She doesn't dip them. She just she
eats them plain.
Which I mean, I put olive oil and a touch of salt and pepper, but she doesn't dip them. She loves them just the way they are.
Wow.
And I mean, I put a really nice olive oil on it. I'll send you the olive oil. You're probably familiar with it. It's got like a gold leaf top, and
sounds already up my alley.
Yeah, it's like $40 a bottle, $49 a bottle.
Okay. Did they have it at Central Market?
They do.
I bet.
How amazing is Central Market.
Yes, I
You
love
guys
it.
are spoiled out here.
I know. I took Fred and Michael immediately to Central Market when they visited me before Michael moved to Texas. But Fred still talks about it to this day.
Oh.
It's amazing.
So I just got the information. I'm gonna try and do a video with them.
Oh, cool.
Because the one off Lovers,
Yeah.
that seafood department is insane.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Sometimes they'll have like sea urchin or like whole fish. Like they have really cool ingredients.
Giant whole fish program. I mean,
Yeah.
the other day there was like probably 16 different types of whole fish.
Wow.
Like everything from monk. They had a giant monkfish. They had rainbow trout. They had parrotfish. Like,
oh my gosh.
I mean, it was like it was insane. And then alongside that, they have like all the different types of crab legs, all different types of oysters, shrimp in like 15 different sizes.
Yeah,
like,
and it's all fresh and
so
amazing
fresh.
quality. And their meat department's the same way.
You turn around,
everywhere. Even like the olive oil and the vinegar aisle, I can just stare at it for like 30 minutes.
You can.
Yeah.
So the first time I came out here to, do my job here, like in LA, I know all the grocery stores. They're also like Air One. Did you go to Air One when you were out there at all?
No.
Air One's like the size of this podcast room. It's such a tiny grocery store. It's super expensive, but it's like you can just see everything real quick. You can get in and out.
I like that.
You can get in and out real quick. The first day I worked out here in Dallas, I went to the Whole Foods on Park Lane.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest
That is a big one.
Biggest Whole Foods I've ever seen in my
You're
life.
like, welcome to Texas.
Yep. I was like, even Whole Foods is bigger in Texas.
That's so funny.
But I went there and I went to the Central Market. And Central Market, it took me an hour and a half to get through because first of all, I was so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And then you have to weigh and label all your produce.
Yeah.
Which I stopped doing. It drives me nuts. And I don't like putting all the stuff in the plastic bags. Like, because coming from LA, we don't have plastic bags. Yeah. So I'm just like, if it has a sticker on it, I'm not putting it in a plastic bag. I put it in the cart and I make them do it at the counter. But it was like the way I describe it. Central Market is like if Whole Foods and IKEA had a baby. Yeah, because it winds through
vibes kind of too. Like I feel like you could go in and out quickly.
You can when you learn the shortcuts.
Yeah,
like I can get out of there.
I'm a Central Market pro, so maybe I'm biased.
I think I'm pro level now after 2 years of going there every day.
Yeah.
I know the shortcuts. I can get out of there in 20 minutes now. But that first day was I love that grocery store.
And the cheese section. Can we just talk about the cheese department?
I mean, the only other time I've seen anything like their cheese department was in France.
I believe it. Yeah, it's incredible.
It's incredible.
I'm going after this. I'm going straight there.
Amazing. Okay. When we were hanging out backstage, you were telling me, was it Nobu? You had a little TMZ experience. Was it Nobu?
That was actually Craig's, but
Craig.
I talked about Nobu Malibu, and I want to specify Nobu Malibu might as well be a different restaurant than all the other Nobus. Because,
really? Why?
Yes.
Good or bad?
In a good way for the Nobu Malibu location. Like, not to talk bad about the other Nobu locations, but they do not compare to the one in Malibu.
Mm-hmm.
The one in Malibu, they get fresh seafood flown in. It's just kind of another level. Plus, I mean, you're eating this amazing sushi with the waves crashing.
Yeah.
But I was at Craig's, which was kind of like a hot spot. I don't know if it still is.
Yep.
It is. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And so the TMZ people were out there and I thought they were just going to take my photo. So I'm like getting ready. And then the guy's like, no, we're going to interview you. I'm like, oh my gosh.
What?
Yeah. And so then all the lights go on. People were like stopping to like figure out who I was. And he just kind of asked me about the show. And then it ended up making it to air. And it was really cute. It's on my Instagram.
What were they asking you about?
They asked me about Gordon, of course. That part got cut out actually, though.
Nice.
In the segment, nice. They were kind of like trying to guess what my favorite restaurant was because the guy had asked, what's your favorite restaurant in LA? And the answer was Nobu Malibu. But they guessed like Spago. They guessed Matsuhisha. And then it was Nobu.
Yeah.
And then I guess one of the guys on the show was like my age, and they were like, would you want to date her or something? And he's like, hell yeah, I'm going to shoot my shot.
Oh my goodness.
And then they were like, I had called monkfish, the pate of this, or the foie gras of the sea.
Okay.
Because they have a really good monkfish pate at Nobu Malibu. So I was talking about that.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, he's the foie gras of TMZ. So funny.
One of my really good friends works at TMZ.
Oh, cool.
He's been there I think he's been there for like almost 10 years now. He's been there a while.
It looks like such a fun vibe in the office. And like they all seem so cool.
We always the other day I messaged him about something. I was like, yo, are you guys running this? He's like, we broke this. I was like, yeah, of course you did.
That's awesome.
They're ahead of it over there.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 seconds. I gotta remind myself. With Fred, like I used to like do notes and all this stuff, but like it gets distracting.
Yeah, I feel you.
No, I mean we've been covering it all.
Yeah.
We've been covering it all. Have you done any pop-ups?
I haven't in a while. Fred and I did quite a bit after season 10. We did some in LA and here in Dallas. And then we also went to New York for his Morimoto dinner that he won on the show.
What?
Yeah, and
man, you guys had season 10
now.
was like the shit.
I know, right?
I'm jealous.
Okay,
I'm
I thought I was maybe just biased, but it really was.
Yeah.
It was like a good group of people, and they did a lot of cool things for us. And I'm so mad that I got eliminated right before they took him to London. But can you believe they took him to freaking London?
Yeah. I feel like season 5 got a lot of ratings. Season 6 got a lot of ratings. I think season 6, I mean, here's how I know like I was pushing the boundaries was we did like 3 challenges and like you could clearly see my plates were on a different level.
I believe it.
And then one day Graham comes in on one of the days off. Graham comes in and they take us to like the test kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're going to do a plating class. I'm like, are you fucking joking right now?
To help get everyone else like up to par.
I was so mad. I was like,
that's annoying.
You're taking my legs out right now.
Yeah.
I was so pissed.
Yeah.
Because it's when you can do that, it's but now everyone's there.
Yeah, they really are.
But no one was doing that before season 6. It wasn't.
Same.
Yeah.
Going into season 10, I actually had no clue what kind of level anyone else would be on. So I felt really blind. And then, during the kind of prerequisite week, I kind of got to see some other people's plates, and I was pretty underwhelmed for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can agree. Yeah, I felt pretty good, but I still just didn't know, until we were finally getting into it. We did the apron battles. Then I was like, okay, I kind of know where I stand now.
Yeah.
And I actually am like one of the better platers, I guess,
right.
But I just had no clue.
That was like this going into this one. It was really funny because like how Fred called you.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't gotten. No, I did. I got a call. I don't remember who called me, but I got a call and I was like, I'm not telling anybody anything. I was like,
yeah, because you kind of got to be careful too.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not saying anything to anyone. And then I went and I deleted everything on my Instagram.
Everything?
I archived it all because I didn't.
Every post
because soon as I did that, so then I started getting phone calls from.
Yeah, because that makes it obvious, I feel like.
But I didn't want anyone to go look at my shit and be like, okay, I gotta.
Because we were all sizing each other
Everyone
up.
was sizing everyone up. And I was like, I'm not giving anyone that advantage.
That's so funny. I was like, I dare you to look at mine and be intimidated.
Yeah. So.
That's funny.
Why am I drawing a blank? Well, DeAndre calls me. And he's like, he goes, I know you got a call. He was like, I just need to know if you're going or not.
That's awesome. I love it.
And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, what going where? He goes, don't bullshit me. He's like, I know you got a call. Are you going or not? And
That's
I was
so
like,
funny.
Well, what does that matter? He goes, it matters because it depends if I'm going or not.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'll go if you go.
No, he was saying that if I go, he wasn't gonna go. And I was like,
shoot.
yo, I'm asking you the same thing. I was like, Because if you're going, I'm not going.
No way, really?
He's so good. He's so like he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt that he doesn't get the recognition he deserves. He's by far the most talented of anyone that's come off that show. I mean,
wow, really?
I've eaten his food. I've worked with him. I've watched him. Like, he's been working in Michelin star restaurants for years, like busting his ass. And like,
what city?
In Vegas.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And like he's done the dessert program for some of the biggest restaurants in Vegas, and that's not easy. Like, I'm getting chills like thinking about it. He's so
that's
good.
That's really cool.
He's so good.
He would have done so well too being dessert focused, because I feel like that's where a lot of us kind of struggle. So
although I feel like a lot of people, I mean, well, I was bringing in a lot of dessert to the game
yeah,
this year.
actually, this time around, there were,
I
guess
like
I'm just
5
speaking
cakes.
about myself. Yeah, Amanda, and then Dara's cake that was better than the example.
Well, right. I mean, Dara was making cakes every day, all day of quarantine.
Right.
So she's had...
And Fred.
Fred is very dessert focused.
Yeah.
Amanda's very dessert focused.
Mm-hmm. And Samantha, too. She's very dessert focused.
Yeah.
Worked at Milk Bar, too.
She did.
Yeah. So I guess it's just me.
That's why. That's also why DeAndre couldn't come, because he was working for Milk Bar at the time.
Oh, so it was like conflict of interest.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They cut him like right before.
That's crazy.
Because he was going to come. But so what's your deal with dessert?
I don't really like to eat dessert.
So
that's why I don't typically make it. Yeah, I tend to like make what I would eat, obviously. But especially since season 12, but also since season 10, I've taken more opportunities like, oh, it's your birthday. Well, let me make a cake, because this is a good practice for me.
Yeah.
So I am better for sure. But yeah, it's just never really been my strong suit, because I just don't do it that much.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what it is. It's either most chefs are one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's where a lot of like restaurant chefs, a lot of restaurant chefs will try to look down on private chefs, but it's just totally different. But like, as a private chef, I mean, I have to do everything. And
True.
In the last 3 years, I've done so many desserts.
Really?
Like, so I'm just as confident, doing a dessert as I am, doing a savory dish.
Mm-hmm.
Do I like doing it? No, it's like
not as creative. I mean, it can be, but
Yeah, and I don't like to eat dessert.
Okay. I love like a good savory dessert, or like a really obscure dessert.
Facts.
Yeah, that's cool. Or like anything you can be artistic with, like panna cotta, I feel like is a really good like blank canvas for some cool things.
Yeah. I've had some, like, I'll get dessert if it's special, and you're going to a restaurant and it's an interactive dessert or whatever, right?
Right. Yeah.
But I'm not just gonna I'm not gonna go to Cheesecake Factory and just get cheesecake.
Right.
I mean, I did that for a little bit and I was like, this is killing me.
Have you eaten at Uchi?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get any desserts there?
I don't remember.
Okay, so Tyson Cole is such a talented chef. Okay. He is really strong at both. I feel like some chefs, it's very obvious that desserts are an afterthought.
Yeah.
But his whole menu is just incredible and so unique. They started in Austin, but they've since opened other locations. So he has one in Dallas. And they have some really cool desserts.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I gotta go check that out too.
Yeah.
Speaking of sweet and savory, have you watched any of these episodes?
Which ones?
Of A Bunch of Losers podcast?
Yeah, of course.
So you know about the blind taste?
Yes, and I'm hungry, so I'm ready.
Let's fucking go.
I hope that I don't regret those words.
You've also noticed I don't play tricks with anyone except for Dara. I fed her cottage cheese when she was like,
oh my gosh.
But I texted her, I was like, any likes, dislikes, or allergies? And she goes, no allergies. She literally said, like, no allergies, but I hate cottage cheese.
So you're like, okay, cottage cheese.
Well, I'm giving you cottage cheese now.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Okay, blindfold.
Okay. I'm scared.
Have you ever worn a blindfold before?
Yes, but not one like this. This one's pretty intense. It's comfy.
Yeah, it's more of like a sleeping one.
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't know how
That's
I don't
good.
know how I acquired that.
That's
But I was
so
like,
funny.
this is gonna work great for this.
Yeah. I'm like, do I close my eyes or?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, you can still.
It's weird if I don't.
Yeah, you can still keep them closed. So you've seen. I'll give you a little cue,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll tell you to open up, and I'll give you a little bite, and
Oh
then
no.
and then you can just describe what. If you're like, if you know right away,
Mhm.
obviously go for it. If you're having
Mhm.
trouble, talk out what you're thinking,
Okay, okay.
so that the viewers and listeners can kind of get an idea. I want to like, I don't know. I went with a very odd assortment of things.
Oh no. Okay. Do I have a napkin or anything?
Yes. Okay. So napkin,
Thank you.
and then your cup is right. Yeah, there you go. So you
Okay.
can rinse. Do you need water in there?
I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good on water.
Let's see. Where should we start?
Oh no.
Let's go. Here we go.
Okay. Ready as I'll ever be, I guess.
All right. Open up.
Okay. Some kind of fruit. It tastes familiar to me. Oh, blueberry?
Yeah.
Nice.
You take the visual out of it. It takes a second.
I know. That's interesting. Wow. Very fun. Let me get a little palate cleanser.
Yeah, palate cleanser. I'm surprised they didn't do this to us on MasterChef.
I know. That would have been fun. They do it in the MasterChef game, the board game.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you have to blindfold guess an ingredient, and then that's an ingredient you have to make a dish with. It's cute. Yeah, it's good for like families or friends.
Okay, open up.
Crunchy. Celery?
Nope.
No? Oh, carrot. Interesting.
Oh. Why?
One of the mirepoix ingredients.
Yeah. Okay. You're used to having them together.
I guess. Were you going to say why celery?
Yeah. Why did you think celery?
I don't know. And I was like so confident about it.
I know, because Adrian thought the same thing.
Huh. I guess because like the crunch, and it's kind of like bland at first, and the flavor kind of hits you like later. So, you don't get like hit with a carrot flavor right away. You just get like crunchy, vegetable, bland, which is more so celery. But then the carrot flavor hits you on the back end.
Well, and celery is like fibrous and...
True. Different texture. I guess if it were cut small enough.
Which,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of why, like with the blueberry, I actually cut it up because a lot of times, like the shape will give it away, right?
That is so true.
Okay, where should I go next?
Someone needs to do this to you.
Steven did.
He did?
Yeah.
I need to go finish that episode then.
So I had him interview me after I got cut and went home. So he was he was the host.
Good choice for a host.
Right?
That's so funny.
And he did it with me, and I got every one of them.
Nice.
Spoiler alert.
Was he, did he go easy on you, or were they obscure?
A couple were obscure, but it was all from his like garden, so it was all fruits and vegetables.
What a cool dude.
Okay, here comes the tricky one.
Okay, I'm ready. Oh. Oops. Okay, it's kind of creamy. Double cream?
Nope.
Oh,
This is kind of a tough one.
I feel like it's something dairy. It's not sour cream, but it kind of had almost that texture. I can't believe it's not double cream. That's really what
It's close.
Clotted cream?
No.
Mascarpone?
There you go.
Yay. Okay, that shows my lack of dessert experience, I guess.
I'm gonna use your napkin just to
That's so funny. It was nice.
Okay. All right, next one. Another
Okay.
curveball.
Okay. This is fun. Kind of bland.
Very.
Almost has the consistency of like Jello. Tofu?
Ding, ding, ding.
Yay! Healthy. These have been pretty healthy choices so far, so thank you.
Yeah, I'm not, I mean, it's like if I stick a gummy worm in your mouth, you're going to instantly know what that is.
For sure. I love a good gummy worm.
Oh, gummies are my fave.
Me too. I'm not
What's
big into sweets, but I like gummies.
What's your go-to gummy?
I'd say either sour gummy worms or the peach O's.
Ooh, peach O's are so good.
Stellar. Anything peach. I mean, I'm Texan, so.
My favorite's Gushers.
Oh, sorry. Gushers are so good.
Problem with Gushers, I can eat a whole box.
Oh, I know. I don't allow myself to buy them. They'd be gone. Those are fruit snacks. They would be all gone.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
This is a tough one.
Okay.
If you get this, I'll be extremely impressed.
Okay, I'm excited then. Definitely something obscure. You cut it.
You can taste my knife cuts.
I tasted the nice knife cut. It's similar to a grape. I can't say that it's a fruit that I've ever had before, which kind of narrows it down. There was a small seed in there. So I'd say some sort of odd like berry or some sort of obscure fruit like gooseberry.
Oh my God, you got
Is
it.
Yes. Can I take the blindfold off?
Wow, that was amazing.
Yay! I won. That's awesome.
So guess what? Even though you don't really like sweets, you win an epic mega cookie.
Oh, yes. I will still eat it. I do actually like cookies. When I say I don't like sweets, it's more like cakes and stuff. Oh, amazing. This is so cute. I love the packaging.
Thank you. I spent
Are you kidding?
a lot of time and effort on it.
That is so cool.
Did you see it? There's a little card there. It's got little thank you note.
This is really well done. I'm excited.
Custom tissue paper.
That's gorgeous. Oh my god.
And then our this is our celebration cookie.
Wow. Can I show it to the camera?
Yeah. There you go. The wide camera.
So pretty.
And then it comes with a little DIY frosting.
Wow. This is awesome. So people can order these. Do you deliver?
I ship nationwide.
You ship?
Yeah.
This would be so cool, like for somebody's birthday, because it's so much better than just Tiff Streets or like some sort of cookie. Like the fact that you
it's
get
fun.
to decorate it.
Yeah, it's a little interactive. The whole box is experience.
I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna decorate it when I get home and tag you. My wheels are spinning. That is so cute. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great gift. When I was coming up with it, it was like I wanted to create something that like people could have fun with and share. I
love that.
Like during COVID, everyone was just like so stuck and isolated. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
This was my COVID hobby that is now taking off.
Congrats. This is really well done. I love this. And that's cool that it's dairy free too.
Well, I had to do that. That wasn't really by design. I had to do that so I could ship it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That is tough. This is really cute. I love the pink and black too.
Thank you. So we have two different boxes. This is for the celebration cookie.
Okay.
Because it says like
congrats,
celebrate, all that. And
then
the other box has like aliens and stuff in it.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I cannot wait. Do you have any advice on decorating?
Just honestly, how I recommend with this cookie is cutting the tip off the frosting and then just squirting it on each bite.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, that's smart.
Forget decorating. Just on each bite.
Yeah. Do you recommend like heating it up first or anything?
Not this one.
Mm-hmm.
I do with like our s'mores or our red velvet. My red velvet, I do that only exclusive at pop-ups.
Oh, cool.
Because it's a red velvet cookie, but I fill it with a gooey chocolate ganache center.
Wow. That sounds really good.
So dope. It's so decadent. It's just like, it's such a rich cookie. But I don't ship that one because I did for Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's cool.
And they all made it safe. I got really nervous though, because it's so like it being so big. Like if you pick it up in like a certain way, it'll just break open because the center is so soft.
Mm.
So I mean, that's the challenging part about this is like during the heat wave a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Like it was so challenging. Like the heat was destroying cookies in the mail. Like they were getting there. They're in a a food safe bag inside,
and
which
it's
is
still good.
It's still good. A cookie is still a cookie, but
Yeah.
it wasn't showing up like that beautiful.
Yeah. Are they all of that shape kind of? Okay,
yeah, they're
cool.
all. I make them in a mold, so it's just like the difficult. And then sometimes you get a post office person that just throws packages.
Yes.
It's like you're like, I spent so much time on that, dude.
Aw,
Like
that's so sad. But the box is like the perfect size too.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
good.
I would still be happy to get that, even
Right?
if it were kind of
Broken.
crumbled up. That's fine.
Still tastes good. And
Yeah.
then we got I've been working on merchandise.
Okay, nice.
I partnered with a candle company.
Ooh, I
so
love candles.
I'm gonna have 2 cookie flavored candles.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have a s'mores flavor
Okay.
or scent, not flavor, because you're not eating it. S'mores
Yeah.
scent, and then a brown butter sugar cookie.
Oh my gosh.
The brown butter sugar cookie is insane.
Wow. Those will
And-
be so nice too during the holidays. Oh my gosh.
Should be launching in a couple weeks.
Perfect.
This may air probably right around the time that we're launching.
Hmm.
And then I got 4 shirts and a hoodie, 4 different designs
Nice.
coming out. So I'm excited, getting it all ready for the holidays and having this big push.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
You know what? I had an idea going back to social media. You
Yeah.
know what we should do while
What?
I'm here in Dallas?
What?
I think this would be a fun video.
I'm down already.
We get together, we decide on a dish, like whatever the dish is, and we have all the ingredients cooked, like it's all cooked and ready to plate, and then you and I plate the dish with maybe a divider, so we don't see what each other's doing,
Yeah.
and see how our plates come out.
That'd be cool.
Right? Because we're both into like
Yeah.
the way it gets put on the plate. I think that would be really cool to do
Yeah.
a side by side. So like people watching, like in the video, we're next to each other.
Oh, and they can see both of us, but we can't see each other.
Yeah, and we do it at the same
Yes.
time, but we can't see each other's.
I'm so down. That
That'd
would
be
be
cool.
really cool because I feel like we both do have really solid plating skills,
Yeah,
but they're also like different styles.
Mhm.
So that'd be really cool.
right.
Would we use the same plate as well, the same dish?
That's a good question. Let's think about it. We could
That I feel like if we did, that would
really
be easier to like compare this
Yeah,
plating of the food styles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be cool.
wouldn't that be fun?
I'm
We
down.
should do that, and then we can post it on Instagram and TikTok like as collaborations.
Yeah, that's perfect.
go on
I'm
both of our
always down
pages.
to collab, but that sounds like a fun idea.
That'll be fun.
Are we gonna have a judge for like the winner?
Ooh. Well, maybe we just put it in the comments.
Yeah, good idea. We'll let the fans decide.
The fans decide.
I
We'll
love
probably
it.
just choose you, but
No, or you. I mean, I feel like sometimes your dishes are more like fun and like out there. And I feel like people really gravitate to that sometimes.
I'll tell you, I was so pissed. It was the only time I was like really like, no, there was one other time I was mad. But I was so pissed
Only one? I'm just kidding.
when that first, I guess it was the first mystery box when we had to recreate the dish that we went home on.
Oh, yeah.
And like
Did they not feature you?
well, no, because
Yeah, same.
but I don't know if you remember when we were in the green room, the producers came back and they're like, Derrick, you didn't really get sent home on a dish, so you can pick any one of the 3 from the finale.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm like, okay. So I picked the dessert, and then I do that chocolate cake and raspberry,
Mm-hmm.
and I plated it all super abstract.
Right.
And then Emily is doing a Black Forest cake too.
Right.
And they were like trying to stoke this drama between Shanika and Emily right out the
Right.
gate. And it was like, my plate didn't even get shown, and I was really
Not even for a split second.
like the smallest second to where like you couldn't even pause on it. But
That's
I
so
had a
frustrating.
photo, so I posted a photo
Nice.
of it the next day.
Okay, yeah.
And that was before we had media kits.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was what caused the media kits.
Oh.
Because they were like, I think they were just trying to get ahead. They were like, why does he have a photo? Because I wasn't supposed to have that photo.
Was it from that day?
No, it was from
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. Interesting.
So I posted it, and I was like, this is my dish.
Well, yeah, because like you want people to know,
Yeah.
and people want to know too. People would always ask, like, "What did you make?" They
Right.
didn't show. I'm sure they did for you too.
Which is so annoying. It's like there's not even that much of us.
I know.
Like you could
And
show
we were all
everybody's dish.
good at that point.
Exactly.
We were all good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pissed about it.
Yeah. I also would have. I know this is a sore subject, but I would have loved to see what you would have done in the finale. Do you know what you would have done?
Yeah, I'm
What?
gonna post it. I'm gonna post it, but it's kind of like so in the finale for season 6, I did the puff pastry cage,
Mhm.
right? I mean, if you Google puff pastry cage, I come up. Like
That's really cool.
it was something that the MasterChef kitchen had never seen before.
Mhm.
So I was gonna do a play on that for my appetizer. I was gonna take the cage and I was gonna invert it like a moon, and so I was gonna.
Oh, I love those plates. Like I haven't seen one with the puff pastry cage, but I've seen like the kind of vertical
Yeah, like
curve.
a lot of times they'll do it with a tweel.
Yeah.
I was gonna do it with puff pastry, and I was gonna do it wide at the
Wow.
bottom and come to a point and make like a half moon, and then I was gonna decorate like around the bottom, the base with a chicken liver pate,
Oh my
and
gosh.
then going up it like dot the pate so that I could stick cauliflower and kumquats going
Oh,
all the way up,
nice.
and then
Mhm.
like somehow like tie a chive and hang a kumquat. Like I was gonna do the most epic.
Wow.
Like I had this so planned, and then like
I love that. I can see it.
it's gonna be so cool. So
Aw.
and it also doesn't. That one would take a lot to decorate,
Right.
but it's really easy to do. Like I could get that chicken pate done with a blast chiller in like 20 minutes, and then I could like while it's chilling, cut all my other shit, and then spend most of the time decorating.
Mm-hmm.
For the entree, I was gonna do a scallop dish.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but like that one is something that I've been doing for a while, so I know it's good. But I was gonna do things that like I was gonna have sea beans. I was gonna use sea
Yeah,
beans
those are cool.
and leeks and like do just like a really cool like oceany like and I was gonna make it look like the ocean floor. So it was like appetizer was gonna be the moon, the entree was going to be the ocean floor, and it was just going to be like all about like these like romantic places, and it was just going to be this.
I love like a good thematic dish, and that's like one of the ones I'm most remembered for. I did a scallop like oceanic dish when Grant Achatz came on season 10, and
so jealous you got. So you guys had the best season.
I know,
season 10 was the best.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it was so cool. But yeah, so I love a good scallop dish plated thematically as well, if that's a word.
Dessert, I didn't quite have dessert thought out, but you get that like week to prepare, and I had the other two. So the dessert, I probably would have figured out, but it was going to be something similar to that one cake that I did, but I think it would be a splatter kind of like,
abstract,
super abstract.
Modern.
Yeah. It was going to be very abstract and modern. But yeah, I mean, the appetizer and entree alone would have just been like last time, just undeniable. But
yeah. Well, you should still do it. And
I'm going to, but it's funny that you asked that because that seems like, I mean, if you could see my inbox, Jesus. Everyone's
like, you were robbed.
Not only that, but this time around they were like, man, like we wanted to see what you were gonna do in the finale.
Yeah, I feel like that's really the kind of chef you are, like a finale type of, like in a good way, like pushing boundaries so people would be excited. Like me, that's why I asked. That's very like, I don't know what the word is, but like showmanship kind of impressive dishes.
It comes from. I think the reason you can relate to it is because you went to an art school. We have like for me being in a band and touring and being that artist, it's show must go on.
Yes.
And every show could be your last. So put it all like if you're playing, like when I was in a band, we literally played a show one night to 2 people in a bar on the road, and we played it like we were playing an arena.
That's awesome.
And then we had also played an arena and like to 16,000 people. So it's like, but if you would have if you would have had just a stage view, it would have looked like the same exact show. And like that's how I, on MasterChef, that's what I was doing. It was like every one could be my last. So it's got to be the best, most undeniable plate every time.
That is a good analogy. And it's like, that's your performance. That's your time to show what you've learned and what you've worked on. So it's the same thing. Like it all has to be represented in that one performance or that one dish.
Yeah. It just sucks that it was so much not about all of our dishes this season.
Yeah, it's got to be about both for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. It seemed very less about the food. I mean, like the fact that we're all back to win, and there was moments that some of our dishes weren't even being shown. Like poor Gabe. Like Gabe barely even existed this season.
I know. I found myself like looking for him a lot. Yeah.
And it's like, dude, and then some of the people that traveled so far and then don't even make it on.
I know. Andrea from Spain.
She flew from Spain.
I know.
And then got put as an alternate.
I know. That really, really sucks.
We're probably not supposed to talk about that, but
I know.
You know what? No one in the MasterChef field, no one at Legal's listening this far in.
I will just say it makes me even more appreciative of how far I got, knowing that so many people would have like killed to even have gotten an apron.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Glass half full.
Yep. Okay, so let's stay in touch about doing this video. I'm here till like mid-November, so we had plenty of time to knock it out.
Perfect.
We can use your kitchen or my new kitchen when I get it.
I actually have a great place for filming. It's like a common area, and it's got a really like wide island, and it's marble, really pretty. So that could be good. There's also, I've got a lot of different. That's like why I chose this building. Like,
that's the same in my new building. Like I have the most amazing like common areas with kitchens like that.
Yeah,
so
even my own, I have an island as well. So
cool. So it sounds like we have the same thing. So when I get into the new place, I'll send you pictures. You send me pictures. We'll say which one we want to do.
Perfect.
And then
I can bring like some camera equipment too, lighting. I've got some soft boxes.
Amazing. Oh, we're going to crush this.
Yes.
Everyone look out for our food video.
Yeah, watch out.
Our plating king and queen food video.
I know. I love it. I'm excited. I'll have to start brainstorming.
Okay, so your Instagram is plating queen.
Plating queen, yes.
TikTok?
Plating queen.
So it's all plating queen across the board?
All plating queen, but Twitter is the plating queen because plating queen was taken.
Someone else had it?
Yeah, I think from like since Twitter has been around for so long, I don't think it's really even an account that's used, but
probably not.
If you
Do you even use Twitter?
Rarely.
Yeah.
Very rarely. If I feel like tweeting about something, normally it's about the weather or something. I know.
Or your energy drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live tweeted the episodes.
You
that was about it.
tweeted a lot, didn't you?
Well, just like I did it for season 6, and it seemed to be a good thing. So I tried it this season. It wasn't much.
I'm sure you had a lot of thoughts to get out on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's more. It was just like I was just venting.
Yeah.
And then Christian just showed up and wanted to just talk shit, and I was like, dude, you don't want this. Like,
oh my gosh.
And then he ended up blocking me because he couldn't handle it. He couldn't.
If you can't stand the heat,
get out.
That's funny.
Anyway.
And then we got that email that was like, please be respectful.
He literally like commented saying I had Down syndrome.
I know.
I'm like, what? Who are you?
I think he didn't realize what he was saying.
Yeah, so then delete it.
I know.
Like he hasn't gone back and deleted it.
Still?
Yeah, still. I'm like, okay, you showed your true colors. You're not a good person.
That's like a bad look for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave him many chances, and he continues to just not be the big, like, I don't know. It's very interesting to see his dynamic and why he wants to be this like villain, because it feels like that's what he was all season. It was also really annoying that he was rewarded for it. I mean, it was just like every time we turned around, like on the days off, he was complaining about like we got to walk to the bank. Like everyone went to the park. I was like, I need to go to the bank. I think I don't know. I had all the cash, the per diem.
Yeah.
And I needed to put it in the bank. It was not a far walk. It was not far at all. And I mean, he's Mr. Athlete, like, right? Like, oh, I play sports, blah, 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 blah. And then he just like whined the entire walk to the bank.
Oh my gosh. About walking?
Yeah. He's like, this is bullshit. Why are we walking? What? Like, it was like so much. And it was like, dude, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, what else would you do?
And I had to sit there and deal with it. And it was just me and Christy, the handler.
Yeah, she's so cool.
She's amazing. But like, and then she's like, I don't know what to do with this. Like,
I love her.
Felt so bad. But he just complained about everything. It was like, dude, like, what, you signed up for this?
Yeah. And they gave us so much more freedom this time around. Well, to an extent, having our phones was like a big difference.
Yeah.
Because for season 10, I arrived at baggage claim, and then there was a wrangler there, and they're like, drop it in the Ziploc bag.
Yeah, same for season 6. Same thing. They took it right away. So, but I told everyone I wasn't going to have my phone. I turned it off.
That's good. That way you can focus.
Yeah. I mean, I talked to like people, like, I would text with Michael or whatever, and I would stay connected with anyone that would Dara, like, but yeah, I wasn't chatting with the outside world.
Yeah, no, I was just talking to my mom. That's it.
Yeah.
How's my dog?
You were very good about just like going back to the hotel and going to your room.
Yes.
You didn't want to hang out with anyone.
No, that's what I did on season 10 too. I mean, I'm kind of an introvert at heart. Like, I'd say I'm an outgoing introvert. Like, I definitely recharge alone.
Yeah.
In my own space. Like when we had to quarantine for those first few days, I think a lot of people were going stir crazy. I was having the time of my life.
Oh.
I got like spa stuff delivered. Right. I was like drawing out plating ideas, like just literally having the time of my life, hanging up on my clothes. But yeah, I mean, I just very much recharge in my own space. So after like all of that stuff all day, I was like, I need to be in my room alone, peace and quiet. Sorry guys, love y'all, but gotta go.
Yeah, I like the mental challenge of it all. I remember season 6 just watching people just could not handle it at all. I mean, we all knew what we were getting into, and so that's why I was really shocked that Christian even lasted as long as he did, 'cause it seemed to like be messing with his head big time. But like season 6, everyone was just like, it was like you could see as soon as they shut off mentally, it was like they were out. 'Cause like, you can just see it happen. I like that side of it.
Yeah.
All right. Wrap this up. Get you off the Central Market.
Yes. I'm heading straight to the cheese area.
Oh my goodness. Bree, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And we'll stay in touch. We'll make that video happen. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to A Bunch of Losers with me, Derrick Fox. Please comment below if you guys have questions for any of these guests. I'm sure they would love to answer, and I'll answer as well. So let me know below. Also, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, and then also make sure you're following us on Instagram, A Bunch of Losers with Derrick Fox, so you get the update on the new episodes. We will be launching them weekly. All right. Thanks, losers.
Action.